Hey guys, good morning. Sorry I couldn't be in your class today. The way today's going to work is you're going to watch this video and then you're going to complete a Delta Math assignment. So the video is going to walk through your notes, and then the Delta Math assignment, you'll have some questions just to make sure that you're understanding the concept, and then I can look at that to kind of see where we're at to gauge where we're going for next class. So we're going to start right in with one-step equations. You should have these notes out in front of you. And whenever we're solving equations, we're always talking about doing inverse operations. So in our head, we're thinking about what is the inverse operation for addition? It's going to be subtraction, and then vice versa. And then what are the inverse operations for multiplication? Is going to be division. So we know our inverse operations. Are add and subtract, those two pair together, and then multiply and divide. And again, these operations undo each other. So looking at this first example, we have m plus 12 equals 10. So I have a positive 12 or a plus 12. So in order to get that m isolated on one side of its equation, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 12 from either side. Because what I do to one side of an equation, I have to do to the other. I'm going to draw my equal sign. These cancel out because 12 subtract 12 is 0, so I'm just left with m on that left side. 10 subtract 12 is a negative 2, so I have m equals negative 2. If it helps, a lot of people like to draw that line going down right where the equal sign is, just to keep everything a little bit more organized. All right, so this next one, I look to find my variable. That guy's right there, and I say, all right, I have g subtract 9. So if I'm subtracting 9, to undo that, I need to add 9. So I'm going to go ahead and add 9 to both sides. Negative 9 plus 9 cancels out. I'm just left with a g. Negative 2 plus 9, they're different signs, so I subtract 2, or 9 take away 2 is 7. I have more positive, so I get g equals 7. And I always like to put a little box around my answer. All right, so those were that add and subtract examples. The next thing that I have are my multiply and divide. So whenever I have a variable next to a number, like I do in this situation, negative 7 times y, I'm going to use division to undo this operation. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by negative 7 to either side. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 just gives me y. And now I know a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 7 goes into 9 one time. With 2 left over, 7 goes into 21 3 times, so I get y equal to 13. And I know some of us can think through these in our heads, but we really want to make sure that we're working it through piece by piece so that we can get the right answer out in the long run. So as these equations get more complex, we need to know these steps that we're taking so that we can apply them to more complicated equations that we can't just do in our heads. All right, this next one, I have a is being divided by 9. To undo that division, I'm going to do multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 9. I'm going to slide a little 1 underneath there because I'm multiplying a fraction with a fraction. I'm going to multiply this side by 9. So I still multiplied each side by the same number. It's 9. I just rewrote this one as 9 over 1 because I was multiplying it by a fraction. So remember we talked about when I'm multiplying fractions, I can cross-cancel something in the numerator with something in the denominator. So I'm going to cancel out my 9s, and I'm left just with an a, and then a negative 36. All right,